Alright everybody, welcome back to another turn of Operation Panzerfaust. We're going to be doing turn 7, I believe, for the Free French and British Commonwealth, July of 1939. No, it'll be turn 8 actually, January 40. I'm not aware of any housekeeping to address, so let's jump straight into the British Commonwealth turn. We have rolled the tech off screen using the dice Maiden bot. We got a hit of 10 on improved logistics and a miss of 4 on LRA. For diplomacy, we'll be rolling for Chile and Argentina. And I think Free France doesn't have any diplomacy. Both of these are hitting on 2 or less. Both miss. And we are necessarily going to have to withdraw our diplomats from Cuba and Venezuela to roll for those two. Okay. For our purchases, we have 25, 17, and 9 to spend. We're going to be spending 25, 17, and 5, leaving 4 for Anzac. Clearing the banks for the other two. Wait. Yeah, okay. For the GB, we'll be purchasing an infantry, marines, colonial infantry, militia, and militia upgrade. For FEC, 2 Gurkhas, and a militia, and a medium factory. An upgrade from the minor factory to a medium factory. For Anzac, we'll be building a militia, and then sending a infantry to Free France. And GB is also sending a medium bomber to KMT. For our combats, we do have a fair few. Right off the start, we'll have 2 destroyers and 2 naval transports from M8, I guess I-5 rather, coming over to past the Italian submarines here. They're going to be choosing not to fire at the passing units. We're going to continue over into M2. One of the destroyers is actually going to return to M8 instead of M2. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. The 2 naval transports are going to be picking up 2 infantry and a AAA from Gibraltar and amphibiously assaulting Sicily. I don't know any British roundels. Okay. Alright, there we go. We'll have 2 subs in M4, raiding in M2 instead. We'll have combat in the east. We'll have a submarine in P44, raiding in P50. These guys raided last turn. I didn't put them on a marker. I'm sure it's fine. More combats. We have the Polish cavalry attacking Bohemia. Polish infantry in Warsaw attacking West Poland, joined by the fighter. I think that's going to be all our combats. We have a seaplane in Nova Scotia mapping out into A18. Unpaired. These are also technically combats. We're going to be going on escort in A28 and A35 with 2 destroyers from the Bay of Biscay? Southwest of the Bay of Biscay. Not sure what this one's called. TBD and A27 is also going on escort duty. This has also got to be a combat movement. In A21, we have at least the carrier combat moving into A6, and the rest of the units will follow. We'll have a battleship, a light carrier, 3 destroyers, and a TBD from A21 moving into A6. Everything else can be a non-combat movement. Alright, so let's go ahead and start rolling out these combats. We'll start with the convoy rating. Against the Japanese, I'm pretty sure there's no tech. Yep. +2 for the GB die, +0 for the Japanese die. No damage. Against the Italians, same. That's 1 damage. We'll do these Polish battles now. We'll do Bohemia first for the fun of it. We've got a cavalry at 3 attacking with no terrain penalties, and a airborne at 2 defending, and that should be all. Yeah, no scrambles. Round 1. No hits. 2. Nothing. 3. Here's a hit, and nothing in defense. There's our GB roundels. Alright. We'll also be rolling for West Poland. Has an infantry attacking at 1 with a river penalty, a fighter at 6, and then a defending mechanized infantry at 4. Round 1. Hit in attack and not defense. In the aftermath of that combat, the fighter is going to continue flying 1, 2, 3, 4 into A6, land on that light carrier. Alright, we do have another combat here. We've got a seaplane mapping here, hitting on a 5 or less. That's a miss. I think that's all of our combat rolled. With that, we should be able to get into our non-combat movement phase. All of our aircraft have landed. Let's see here. We've got 2 battleships from Gibraltar moving into M2. We'll be forming a new 4th fleet here. We've got a light carrier, 3 heavy cruisers, and a destroyer from A27 moving 1, 2, 3, joining that fleet. There's going to be a fighter from Southern England. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, landing on that carrier. Medium bomber from Southern England alongside an air transport and an airborne are going to fly to Gibraltar. We've got 2 light cruisers and a battle cruiser from A29. Yeah. Moving down to Gibraltar. 1, 2, 3, going in port in Gibraltar. Two heavy cruisers and 2 naval transports from A29 are going to be going in port in A21 in southern England. We've got a coastal defense ship in A21 moving up and going in port in Scotland. Seaplanes coming off of map back into Nova Scotia. 2 infantry, 2 militia from southern England into London. Tactical bomber is going to be flying from A27 to Gibraltar. Got an infantry in Transjordan marching over to Suez. From Australia, we have a naval transport conducting strategic naval movement 1, 2, 3, 4, landing in port in Maharashtra. The 2 Anzac warships from P70 are also 1, 2, 3, 4, moving to I7. From Calcutta, we have 2 infantry moving to southern India. We have 4 infantry, a Gurkha and a AAA, plus 2 GB infantry moving to Bengal. I think that's all our movements. With that, we can get into our placements phase. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these down. Anzac's going to place a militia in Sydney. The infantry for the French is going to start at this factory, come to South Australia, over to Maha, over to the Mediterranean, and from Gibraltar to Cameroon. Oh, I never declared that as my capital. That should be my capital. FEC is going to have 2 Gurkhas in Bengal, militia in Calcutta, upgrade the factory in Calcutta. The rest of this comes from GB. We'll have a militia upgrade and a militia and a colonial infantry in Lower Egypt. Medium bomber will take the trip through the Mediterranean. It can sneak around this the Italian subs. Come over to Maharashtra, then to South Australia, and from there we can get 1, 2, 3, 4 to Queensland, to New Britain, and from there we can deliver to Nanking. No blockade or interdiction. We'll have a marine and an infantry placed into London. That should be everything, so let's go ahead and collect our income. So we've got 32 for GB after our bonuses. FEC is going to get their bonus too, so they're 16. And Anzac will not get their bonus, so they're just a 7. Alright, with that we can pass things over to the Free French. They have 0 to spend, and they're going to spend all 0 of it. Get straight into their combat movement phase. We have 2 to declare. We have a destroyer in A44 trying to pass this these Italian submarines. I'm reasonably confident he's not interested in engaging for just a passing destroyer. So I'm gonna pretend he's not interested, but I have sent him a message, and he can feel free to add that to housekeeping. And that's gonna go in port in Suez. And then the other combat is going to be the medium bomber is going to fly 1, 2, 3, and conduct strategic bombing on this major shipyard here, and then it can land in Sicily if it doesn't get shot down by AA. So we will roll 1d6 of bombing damage and 1d12 for AAA hitting on a 3 or less. Miss on the AAA, maximum of 5 damage on the facility. The bomber is, of course, going to be landing in Sicily. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and take a save to pass along to Jimbaro. Let's see. I'm going to give him an opportunity to look at the board as it is to decide which ships he wants to eject, if any. And from there, I'll continue the Free French turn for now, but there may be some changes with the Free French non-combat movement, depending on what the Italians do here. Naval transport in M3 is going to come back and go and port in Gibraltar. Pretty confident of that either way. But I'm going to leave the Free France fighter here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it until the aircraft, or until the naval units have been ejected or not. And I think we've got one rail movement here. Cameroon is going to have an infantry rail to Niger through this river system, and then we'll be done with our Free French. We'll collect 4, and that's all. With that, we can pass things along. We'll get some input from Jimbaro on these housekeeping items, and then we'll get things moving from there. So we'll leave things there and say best of luck on your next rolls.